Today we are looking at 3 Roblox games that got exposed. Either the developer was a really bad person, or in one case, we look at a developer who was getting harassed in hopes that she would delete the game. From allegations that would ruin the game forever, to a group of 4chan losers trying to raid my friend's servers for debunking the false allegations, today we will see what exactly happens when somebody tries to get Forsaken deleted from Roblox. Now, if you don't already know, Forsaken is a horror game on Roblox that has generated over 190 million visits over the years. The game was founded and created by a user named Soul-Driven Love that in this video you will find out has been facing some very serious and false allegations that could potentially get Forsaken deleted forever. However, before we dive deeper, make sure to subscribe with notifications on to help me reach 50,000 subscribers and to never miss an upload on my channel ever again. I mentioned before that the founder of Forsaken has been facing some very serious allegations that could get the game deleted forever.
For some context, in early 2024, a series of allegations were levied against Forsaken's creator, Soul-Driven Love, of which she debunked massively in a video uploaded by Palu entitled "The Roblox Forsaken Drama is Sad."
So recently there's been some extremely serious drama involving the very popular Roblox game Forsaken, with the creator and co-creator of the game receiving daily threats of being swatted and even people threatening to harm them in real life.
However, ever since this video's upload, things have gotten a whole lot worse. It began with users who'd seen Palu's video over on 4chan harassing, threatening, and doing a range of extremely deplorable things toward him. But what was even more alarming were the plethora of new documents which had been released against Soul. However, these were so awful that they caused various members who'd made great contributions to the game to publicly dissociate. But what was even worse was the plethora of members from the Forsaken team who'd resigned permanently, such as Sergeant Toki, for example, who published a tweet reading, "I'm stepping down from the Forsaken team. All of the characters I've worked on will be pulled from the roster and will no longer be added. Azure, Ringmaster, Phosphorus, and Rook will not be added, and I no longer wish to have them associated with Forsaken."
But what was even more sad for Soul in their personal life was the romantic relationship they had that got ruined because of the false allegations that have been spread, with the Discord message from Soul's ex-partner reading, "I don't know, I have to leave. I can't be in this relationship. It's risking everything. Your health, my health. I don't want to do this. I really don't." Confirming that Soul and her ex-partner had ended the relationship because of the stress that these false allegations had caused. But to make the situation 10 times worse for Soul, the co-owner of Forsaken also stepped down from the team as a result of the allegations, with them stating in Discord, "I'm stepping down from co-owner. I am no longer affiliated with Forsaken and I'd appreciate if I was left out of any further discussion. I'm not affiliated with whatever direction this game takes. I enjoyed my time working with you all."
However, the person who it appeared was affected the most was none other than Soul herself, who published an extremely disturbing tweet expressing how she felt about the entire situation, which reads, "It's not even about the game or the collabs, man. I lost everything in my personal life because of this. Literally everything that I cared about, proof gone, and I don't even have my partner anymore because her parents told all of this misinformation construed about me." It was around this time in mid-March 2025 that Roblox drama creator Paolo reached out to Soul after seeing the events that had transpired, informing her that even though she was going through a lot, the video was viewed by a lot of people and there was overwhelming support for her side of the story, as well as the fact that he'd published another video on the new situation. However, Soul didn't respond as Paolo would have expected, and the situation was about to get a whole lot more depressing as Soul confirmed to him that Juno, the game's co-owner, had been hospitalized after taking an attempt on their own life. She also confirmed that she'd been thinking of doing the same, and that if her parents hadn't decided to console her, there was a very likely chance that she could have not been here today.
After Paolo posted his first video debunking all of the very serious and false allegations about Soul-Driven Love, it wouldn't be long until Paolo would drop his second video on the Forsaken drama, with a video posted to his channel titled "The Roblox Forsaken Drama Keeps Getting Worse."
Now, since my last video detailing extensively the drama surrounding the Roblox game Forsaken, more specifically the false allegations against the creator of the game being Sol, and having spoken to Sol and Juno myself, getting their entire side regarding the situation out for everyone to hear, a lot more extremely serious updates have come out which I feel like I need to address.
The video would detail even more serious updates, as well as the main Forsaken Discord server getting raided by a bunch of degenerates who were spreading the false allegations, with one user from the Discord stating, "Yo, so recently I was chilling and saw a bunch of my notifications going off, so I checked the server that it was coming from. It was Forsaken. The server was being raided by somebody named Carter. I have a video of it happening. Little did anyone know, but this would be the beginning of a war that was about to start," even with a user commenting under Paolo's video stating, "Just 4 hours after this was posted, the server was hacked and raided. Not entirely sure on the context of this all, but what I am sure is that this won't stop for a long time." Not only was the server being raided with the false allegations that were already being spread around the community, but it had also been hacked, ruining most of the Discord server. The user behind the raid was named Carter.
As stated by a Discord user who's done some research on this topic, this is not by any means Kata's first time doing this. They stated, "I'm not exactly sure what info to give about this Kata person, but I know that they love to raid servers and it's like really bad. Lots of big Roblox games Discord servers have been raided by this individual. From raiding Evade to Slap Battles, Runeslayer, and now Forsaken, there's one common theme which seems to be a thread between all the games Kata has taken over, which may give us some insight on why they did it. All of these games are massive on Roblox, Evade amassing over 5.9 billion visits, Runeslayer over 58 million, and Slap Battles over 2.7 billion. Given that Forsaken is one of the most successful Roblox games in existence with over 148 million visits, it's understandable why an individual who hacked the Discord servers of these other games would have an interest in doing the same to Forsaken."
Revealing that Carter was the one behind the Forsaken Discord server being raided and hacked, but as the drama unfolded, we would find out that for some odd reason, Carter had tried to warn Sol ahead of time that the server was going to be raided, with one user stating, "If I wake up to Carter nuking Forsaken Discord, I'm going to shake my head in disappointment and then move on with my day." Going on to add, "Well, that and the fact that we literally gave them a surefire way to make sure that they never get nuked, and they turned it down out of confidence in their own staff." But it's important to note that these messages were sent from a higher up in Carter's server, however still take it with a grain of salt. But what if I told you that in the last 12 hours, the Forsaken drama has gotten 10 times worse, and now they are trying to take down people like Paolo and Webb? This morning, I woke up to an announcement by Paolo in his Discord server that would state, "Important, Soyjack Party Schizos tried to raid the server and failed miserably, and also tried to harass me with defunct docs information, and also threatened to assault and me in real life. All of this completely unfazes me, but it's hilarious how they tried to beg Ruben Sim to expose me over the bullshit Homotopia situation from 2023, which I've debunked in a 166-page Google document. They even glazed the original creator of the document, XD Gamer, who is a food member who posted. They attempted to call me a over a Discord server I was not active in, since Soyjack Party is so painfully incompetent because it is full of edgy soy teens who can't band together to accomplish anything, Podema or even the UTTP. They instead decided to waste their time on me because they need to go after similar targets to make themselves feel accomplished. I did laugh when scrolling through their little raids, and I hope this gets back to them because you're letting actual child rapists and extorters get away with it because you seethe over my Forsaken video. You can't even debunk the video or my document. Not only was the Forsaken server raided the other day, but now Paolo's, all because he made a video spreading awareness. The hack seemed to come from users over on 4chan who have endlessly been spreading false allegations regarding Paolo, as well as spreading his docs and doing other incredibly degenerate things. Paolo would also take to Twitter with a post that read, "Soyjack Party Schizos are making comments about assaulting me in real life and LARPing by posting defunct docs info about me. Their only proof to justify the harassment is by using XD Gamer's Homotopia document on me," which for context, XD Gamer is a seriously bad person who doxed, harassed, and almost caused Paolo to end his own life during 2023. The false allegations made by XD Gamer have been debunked several times, and the document is mainly used by Paolo haters to spread his docs and false info about him, even with one of the 4chan degenerates trying to get Ruben Sim's attention linking to the document in the replies of his tweet. These guys are truly horrible, stating on their little 4chan thread, "We're coming to Paolo. We will you, then you, bury you in a forest, then unbury you, then you, then bury you again, then unbury you. I think you guys get the point. These are 4chan losers who will achieve nothing in their life except being bullied at school, having zero social life, and their only way of being threatening is through a screen spreading a dox that they didn't even make. They are truly the lowest of lows on this earth, so if you ever see them spreading shit about anybody, just ignore it because 99% of the time it is false and they are just larping around and spreading shit out of hatred. Parlo would finish his statement about the raid by saying, "So pathetic y'all try and go after smaller targets because you're shit scared about the larger ones. Go after the people who call the predators out. Very effective and smart. It's not threatening in the slightest. It's genuinely just embarrassing, lol." Podema gets a green check in Soyjack's party books. However, this wasn't just it. Even my close friend Webb, who also makes Roblox drama videos and is known for exposing Ribs Roblox, had his server raided by the same people who tried raiding Parlo's server. I was asleep at this time, but these messages were sent to the server during the raid. Since I was asleep, I didn't witness anything that was posted in the server. However, I would have users messaging me about the situation, with one person revealing to me that like 15 people joined in. One spammed the N-word, one spammed messages calling Parlo a p with a link, one was tapping about how 4chan was coming to get us, one spammed with one even posting All this does is prove that you were in the wrong, considering that you think the only thing that is going to beat spreading false allegations is doing a cringe Discord raid that will literally do nothing in the long run. Please spread awareness to the situation, make videos about it, like and comment on this video for engagement. We need to spread the truth so that Forsaken gets saved and it doesn't get deleted, because although the allegations are debunked, the constant harassment and pressure towards Soul might just tip her over the edge and have them give up on Forsaken altogether. This all starts with a user named Deceit, a 22-year-old gooner who used to be an admin for baddies before he got exposed. The first screenshot shows a conversation with a minor, showing Deceit confronting the minor about having a problem with adults being in relationships with minors. The second screenshot shows Deceit admitting to this minor that it wasn't the first he talked to, with him feeling guilty for it in the chat logs. This is another screenshot of this gooner admitting that he can't be with this particular minor because of their age, also indicating in the same chat log that even if they were the same age, he was already talking to a different person. Mind you, Deceit was directly connected to a Discord that was full of minors at the time that he had admin roles in. The next victim was a 17-year-old girl. We see Deceit talking to this minor and trying to intimidate them as some sort of manipulation tactic to get what he wanted. Here are some in-game messages in Roblox from Deceit, where Deceit would try and say that they wanted them to lie about their age because Deceit knew they were a minor and didn't want to get exposed. The document that all this proof came from, that was made to expose Deceit, also would expose him for allegedly trying to get this minor to lie about their age because Deceit knew the victim was underage and would continue to take advantage of them after getting them to lie about their age for him. He would also get the underage girl to ERP with him on Roblox. There are many images proving that this happened. These screenshots are blurred for obvious reasons, but keep in mind, Deceit made this underage person change into a more childlike avatar during the ERP to fulfill his sick gooning desires. The next screenshot would show Deceit talking inappropriately with the minor in-game chat. The messages would continue with this gooner saying, "I want you thinking about all my inches." And let me remind you, Deceit was 22 at the time talking to this underage victim. Him continuing to show his goonish behavior, borderline harassing this person in private Roblox messages. He would even give them a baddies pack as a form of payment after getting them to have with him on Roblox. The document would then continue saying this: Deceit trying to appear as the victim by putting shady statuses, while in reality he is the one doing the activities. People always talk about Deceit because he tries to shut everyone up that knows the truth about him. He is a conniving, narcissistic, chronically online sociopath, as well as him being a pathological liar and not being able to keep up with it. He does not have a relationship in real life because he does not step outside. He wakes up every day and gets on Discord to flirt with minors and every female that he can manage to manipulate. He would also make Discord servers for his ERP, with this screenshot showing that he saw the victim in game. In said server, in the general chat, he would also talk about the nude photo that the minor had sent to him, with the chat log between Deceit and the minor being very disturbing to read. This gross gooner would talk so disgustingly with these minors, even threatening to kill himself, suicide baiting the victim to get what he wants out of this minor. with the chat logs exposing Deceit for role-playing sexual scenarios with the For context, this screenshot he is talking about a describing his feelings towards her with, "I'm practically obsessed with you and you make me feel so weak at times, like the good weak, like I relax so easily and lower my guard." Look, I'm so sorry you guys have to hear, and don't get me wrong, I'm cringing while saying this out loud, but this is what he acted like towards these This guy is a D1 Diddy Gooner, mentioning to a freshly 18-year-old girl that he wishes he messaged her 2 to 3 years ago when she would have been 15 to 16 years old. One of the he talked to was named Kitten. He would also talk to Kitten, although she was underage, even baiting her like he did with another victim. Good girl, if you love me with all your heart, you will call first in 5 seconds, then proceeds to count down to when he will take advantage of this call. This gooner god cannot help himself, genuinely. Even getting mad at the victim for not having eaten with him on command. You guys can't make this shit up, bro. Begging for it until she finally gave in. The document would also detail a group chat that was made to expose Deceit, with Jameer, the director of Baddies, and Kitty, who was a Blade Ball community manager, which I funnily enough mentioned her involvement with protecting Kaiser, who scammed over $100,000 worth of limiteds off his own friends and fans, and now it looks like she is trying to protect this as well. This was the group chat. We can see the director of Baddies adding Kitty into the group and then leaving right after. More screenshots would come out showing Deceit exchanging nudes with a mic over Discord. The victim would reply calling his piece huge, to which he would send this gooner grin emoji in reaction, with the victim replying, "Let me lay down," with Deceit talking about his piece stating, "Is it burned into your brain now?" I'm not gonna read the reply, but yeah, shit is weird, with the sending to him and him resending his picture to the victim. The conversation would then continue with even more gooner activities. The document would then expose another instance where Deceit was harassing a mother for while she was literally dealing with a hurricane, with the first screenshot showing him talking about jelking it to said mother while she was, again, literally in the middle of a hurricane. This Deceit won't let anything get in front of the goon, not even a hurricane. Yeah, the conversation just continues with exactly what you think, with Deceit going on to say, "It's 2 AM, little boy." And when the victim refused, because keep in mind, not only are they underage, but they are literally in the middle of a hurricane, Deceit would get angry and state, "I will make you cut again," which just shows you how manipulative this gooner is. Stating to the victim, "I'm serious, you're being disobedient," even calling her a good girl. And he wouldn't just stop there. He kept up this goonish conversation, begging this to send him pictures of herself. He just keeps begging for the goon, even asking the victim to carve his name into their body. After endless harassment, the victim finally gave in. While mid-hurricane, she fell victim to his manipulative ways. The document would finish stating that Deceit apparently debunked everything in his own document. However, the document is unavailable right now and nobody has seen it. But I don't think Deceit can disprove the boatload of proof that is against him, in my personal opinion. However, before we continue, big shout out to Jimbo for the information I used in this video. Go subscribe to him for other Roblox content, or if you just want to support. Fortunately, he isn't an admin for Baddies anymore, thank God, but it still begs the question of his involvement with Kaiser and Kitty, but more importantly, their involvement with him. If you don't already know, I made 2 videos on Kitty and Kaiser and their friend group, and have exposed Kaiser for scamming, Kitty for helping him, and even their involvement with each other.
From a TikToker who scammed over $90,000 worth of limited items from his friends and fans, to his friends who have not only covered up for him, but are involved in some really bad stuff. In today's video, we look at Roblox's heartless group of scammers, and how they are getting away with it. On the 30th of January 2025, I would upload a video to my channel titled Exposing Roblox's Worst TikTok Scammer, where I would expose Kaiser's lengthy history with scamming. However, since posting the video, I've been contacted by countless people with evidence on Kaiser, as well as his associates Kitty and Funzy.
Before we get into everything, I just want to say this is a very important video for spreading awareness, and I highly urge you to watch until the end, even if you don't want to. It's very important that these victims get the recognition and attention they deserve, and the developer behind all of this evil stuff needs to be held accountable. So this would all start on May 6th when a Roblox developer called Joshua is Minecraft would make a Twitter post calling out the developer behind Grow a Garden, containing some very serious allegations. The Twitter thread would start off with Joshua Josh stating, front page Roblox developer and creator of Grow a Garden exposed. BMW Lux/Adrian has a long history of scamming, backdooring, false bans, DMCA abuses, and even doxing, and now his game Grow a Garden recently hit 1.5 million concurrent players. He would then go on to explain his experience with the developer. My story. In 2022, I shared my game files with Adrian under a 50-50 revenue deal. When our first game hit 1k players later that year, he ripped out my payouts, kicked me from the group, and stole all my revenue, showing a text thread over on Discord explaining his side of the story.
When I originally met BMW Lux, otherwise known as Adrian, he had no popular games, and I only knew him because he had copied one of my relatively popular games, and I had friended him as a joke. Well, about a year after I had friended him, he randomly reached out to me and wanted to work with me on some games. So we had made this deal that I would give him my game files and he would simply upload them with whatever themes he wanted. And we had agreed to split 50-50 of the revenue in that group. Well, after a couple of months of that group being made, a few of the games started doing well. And when one of those games had blown up to 1,000 players, he instantly removed my recurring payouts and stole all my revenue and kicked me from the group.
Showing the proof that he was removed from the group payout for the game. And the proof of me actually being the one providing those files is pretty simple, as my username is displayed in each game somewhere, showing proof that he did indeed own the game beforehand. The next tweet in his thread would read, doxing and threats. Shortly after I exposed him, Adrian publicly revealed my full name in a Discord chat, threatened to post my home address, and even threatened to share a photo of my house, all in a public server, and would show Adrian's long history of doxing and threats, like this screenshot of Adrian threatening Josh and his family, or the other time he threatened Josh, and then getting banned for it because it is simply evil what he is trying to do. By the way, to the guy who literally helped kickstart his Roblox developing career. The next tweet in the thread would read, a pattern of abuse. Since 2022, Adrian's victim list has grown, outright scamming, backdooring collaborated games, leaking project files, and a lot more. Dozens of developers have been harmed, with the first screenshot showing Adrian, who in these screenshots goes by Black and Gold, trying to steal game files from other developers, with more proof of Adrian trying to backdoor games he worked on and trying to leak confidential project files because he was that money hungry, with the next tweet in the thread reading, uploading gore and NSFW on alts. Adrian's alts inject gore and NSFW into collaborators' group games, and then he reports them, triggering bans on innocent devs while his main stays clean. Now this is one of the most serious claims in the thread, and would show proof of the developer BMW Lux getting banned for uploading gore and on an alt account in an attempt to get other small developers banned and their games removed, with multiple testimonies against Lux. The next tweet in the thread would read, false DMCA claims. BMW Lux has filed multiple bogus takedowns, most notably My Snowball, where he nuked the original, re-uploaded his copy during the counter notice blackout, and grabbed 2,000 plus players and revenue, showing testimony from a developer claiming that Lux filed a false DMCA takedown on his game that Lux copied. Like, the audacity of this guy is crazy. He is genuinely insane. It's like Lux is trying to be a dictator within the Roblox developer space or something, copying other developers and then trying to get them banned, as well as backdooring the games and still trying to be greedy after. It's genuinely insane. With another victim of Lux stepping forward reading,
he did the exact same thing to a game called Crazy Chefs. Stole the title and concept, then abused the DMCA system to get the original taken down once his game became more popular. He's probably done this to countless other games too. I've reported him, explaining in detail everything he's done, yet he's still on the platform.
And you won't believe it guys, there was another victim of the false takedown, with a user called TicketDev stating, it happened again, make sure you lock up your ideas and share them with nobody except your devs. Me and a man named BMW Lux were longtime friends that shared in-game stats and information with each other on games. I gave the stats of these games to him and he decided to personally release copies of my game after seeing the ARPDAU, with the next tweet in the thread exposing him reading, why Why it matters. Front page status shouldn't grant impunity. BMW Lux/Adrian's account remains unmoderated despite doing this for years. His continued success undermines trust in Roblox's moderation and punishes honest creators. Which brings us onto another developer by the name of Aiden, who has also been dealing with false DMCA takedowns from Lux, with his tweet reading, "I wanted to come on here and talk about the owner of Grow a Garden or my old investor threatening to send me false DMCAs. Adrian is BMW Lux." It would continue with, "Adrian was my old investor for AFK for UGCs. He did not do much, to be completely honest. He put about an hour of work in for a decent percent. He added a simple steal function, which was originally my idea, and just added some minor fixes. Adrian/BMW Lux basically destroyed our stats, kicking it out of the algorithm. You can see where Adrian joined the team and how significant of a decrease of stats we faced. This caused AFK for UGCs to fall out of the algorithm and become irrelevant, showing that Lux not only did nothing to help, but even made the stats of the game worse after joining the team." Continuing his own thread reading, "Well, a few months go by, and I noticed these trends of these My Pet Blank games. So as curious as I was to hop on the trend and see what this was all about, I did so not knowing my old investor was involved in this trend. Adrian, once noticing I made a similar game to his, threatened to DMCA strike my game when we were investors. I would also like to add that Adrian/BMW Lux was not the creator of this trend, yet he thought he had the rights to take down all the creations who copied the trend with him, showing screenshot proof of Lux acting entitled as if he gets to copy any game he wants, trying to make vague threats in an attempt to scare this developer, even making the insane claim that the developer was copying Lux when it was and almost always is the other way around, even showing a support email with Roblox where he requested to falsely DMCA take down the developer's game. And when Aiden, the victim of the situation, freaked out and rightfully tried to contact the original game owner so they can help fix the situation, it turns out Lux had also false DMCA striked that game as well, with another developer making similar posts to the last two threads we saw, reading, "Shout out BMW Lux on Roblox for threatening to copy my game after I refused his purchase offer. Remember guys, don't fold to people pressuring you about accepting offers you don't want to take." So yeah guys, in conclusion, BMW Lux is a terrible person and is extremely greedy, trying to cover up, falsely take down and silence anybody who tries to stop him from making money. He will steal as many games as he wants because Roblox does nothing and he will never face consequences for this. And I know this may be a bit of a boring video for you guys, but this needs awareness. This guy is currently being rewarded with millions of dollars for copying other creators' work and threatening to dox and silence them for confronting him. He is a very evil person and it looks like all he's doing is trying to run a dictatorship within the Roblox developer community. Please, I urge you to spread awareness to this situation and try to bring this to Roblox because something really needs to be done. But as always, if you're new to the channel and you enjoy content like this, please make sure to subscribe with notifications on to help me reach 100,000 subscribers. And if you want to watch something similar to this, click the video on screen now.